religion, and public life. Why do you think it is that as a nation we have so many different religious beliefs? Or is my religion more relevant than yours? As a writer for Psychology Today, Dr. Edwards, 2017, states, the mere acquaintance with the human on planet Earth and their religion immediately raises two questions. Why are there so many religions? And number two, why are religious people, so uh, immune to data that concerns their religion? Now, my name is Ralph Murray, and I am currently a student at Colorado Christian University attending my last course before obtaining my Bachelor's of Arts degree in Biblical Studies. I am an ordained minister, been ordained since 2002, and I have associate pastored and preached in several churches around the country. My wife and I are also certified marriage counselors. Now, as a minister, I am very much interested in the differences between the various religions, denominations, and its effects, if any, on the declining willingness of Americans to pursue the Christian faith. I believe that the data collected by the Pew Research Center experts can shed some light on this decline. Now, before I begin, I want to tell you that I heard about a priest, a minister, and a rabbi who wanted to see who was best at their job. So each goes into the woods, finds a bear, and attempts to convert it. Later, they all get together. The priest began, when I found the bear, I read to him from the catechism and sprinkled him with holy water. Next week is his first communion. I found a bear by the stream, says the minister, and preached God's holy word. The bear was so mesmerized that he let me baptize him. They both looked down at the rabbi, who was laying on a gurney in a body cast. Looking up, he says, maybe I should have started, or maybe I shouldn't have started with circumcision. So you see, we all have our own beliefs, and we all think that our beliefs are more relevant than others. But it is generally understood that religion provides moral guidelines for marriages and families. That religious believers credit to being able to sustain marriage and maintain the family. These are the people that believe that religion was created for the sole purpose. Now, there are some people who believe that religion was created for the sole purpose of keeping folks in line, keeping them out of trouble. We believe that God is real and a afterlife with Him is only to keep others in a chaotic world. Another way of looking at this is to think of it as self-control. Perhaps the more familiar is delayed gratification, resisting immediate temptation to wait for a greater reward later on. Now, the Pew Research used data collection. Experts like Vice President of Global Strategy at Pew Center, Mr. Bell, Dr. Bell, 2019, who helps to design survey projects, develop questionnaires, analyze data, and write reports. Prior to joining the Research Center, Bell worked at the U.S. State Department for nearly a decade, most recently as Director of International Opinion Research. Now, the general goal of the Pew Research experts is to provide analysis of trends shaping the world grounded in the center's rigorous empirical research. Because the center is strictly neutral, its experts do not make policy recommendations. Now, another specific goal is to determine America's religious self-identification. The religious landscape of the United States continues to change in a rapid pace. In Pew Research Center, telephone surveys conducted in 2018 and 2019, 65% of the American adults describe themselves as Christian. When asked about their religion, they went 12% down in points over the past decade. Meanwhile, the religiously unaffiliated share of the population, consisting of people who describe their religious identity as atheist and Gnostic or nothing in particular, now stands at 26, up from 17% in 29. Additionally, the Pew Research Center reports that most of these political polls include questions about religious attendance. Aside from the wedding and funerals, how often do we attend religious service? More than once a week? Once a week? Once or twice a week? A few times a year? Seldom or never? Taken together, these two questions about religious identity and the other religious attendance can help shed light on the religious trend in the U.S. The Pew Report of the Pew Research Center data shows that just like rates of religious affiliations, rate of religious attendance is also declining. Over the last decade, the share of Americans who say they attend religious services at least once or twice a month dropped by 7% by a 7% point, while the share who say they attend religious services less often, if at all, had risen by the same degree. Now, in 2009, regular worship attendance, those who attended religious services at least twice a month, outnumbered those who attend services only occasionally, or not at all, by a 52 to 47% margin. Today, these figures are reversed. More Americans now say they attend religious services a few times a year or less. 54% then say they attend at least monthly, 45%. In conclusion, the data showing the decline in Christian religious beliefs are somewhat in step with the different religious attendance in our nation. The Pew Research Center 2019 Data shows while this trend are clear, the U.S. is steadily becoming less Christian and less religiously observant as the share of adults who are not religious grows. Self-described Christians report that they attend religious services at about the same rate today as in 2009. Today, 62% of Christians say they attend religious services at least once or twice a week, which is identified to the share who say the same in 2009. In other words, the nation's overall rate of religious attendance is declining. Not because Christians are attending churches less often, but rather because there are now fewer Christians as a share of the population. Now, I will credit my information from today's Psychology Today, the Pew Research itself, and the statement from Dr. Bell, who's the research director. Thank you very much.